The legend of the United States Military Academy lies in names from the battlefield like Eisenhower, MacArthur, and Schwarzkopf. Legendary coach Red Blake. And Heisman winners Mr. Inside, Doc Blanchard, and Mr. Outside, Glenn Davis. By winning their 5th straight game over Navy, Army secured their place in school history and the Independence Bowl with their first ever 10-win season. And today have their chance to prove themselves against a perennial powerhouse, the Auburn Tigers. ESPN is proud to welcome you to Shreveport, Louisiana for the Poland Weed Eater Independence Bowl. Today is 7-4 Auburn against the 10-1 Black Knights of Army. And hi, everybody. I'm Craig Bullerjack. Welcome to Shreveport, Louisiana. As we know, Army, a very effective ground game, 346 yards a game. There is a question mark, and let's go downstairs to former Pittsburgh Steeler running back himself, Merrill Hodge.
Well, Craig, thanks. Joe Hewitt, number 33, suffered a 3rd-degree MCL sprain against Navy 3 weeks ago. And the bad news is he's not going to start. The good news is he could play. It's a blow that they're going to have to deal with. I think that Joe Hewitt will look very good, I think, in warm-ups. So it'll depend on how the game goes. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, sir. It is a big question mark, and he's so effective, nearly 6 yards per carry.
Well, you know, the thing that he gives Army is a back with the ability to turn the 5-yard run into about a 15 or 20-yarder. So they will miss him if he can't play a lot in this ball game.
Demetrius Perry, a very solid backup at the fullback position. He averages about 4.5 yards a game. A gain, so at the fullback spot they're loaded along at the halfback position.
Well, remember the Navy game, Hewitt was out most of that ball game. Ronnie Makeda stepped his game up and brought Army back from 18 points down to get the berth here in this ball game.
All-time bowl appearances, impressive, 25 for the Auburn Tigers. Auburn won the toss, chose to receive. Robert Baker and Eric Olson back to receive the kick. Baker at the goal line, and Baker with a nice return to the 26. A 26-yard return. There is the quarterback for Auburn, Dameyune Craig Jr. You look at his numbers, 54.5% completion rate, Rod. Nearly 2,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 10 picks on the season.
Well, the key for Army will be keeping him in the pocket. If they let him get outside, he can wreak havoc.
First play of the Independence Bowl. And from the shotgun is Dameyune Craig. He can throw, and he goes up top to a wide open Tyrone Goodson down the sideline and knocked out at the 25. And Rod, you know Army was working on their option, trying to contain their quarterback Dameyune Craig. On the first play, he goes deep.
Well, you know, they got 4 receivers. You see the quarterback there, nobody in the backfield with them. They're just going to drop back and throw the ball. This is almost man-for-man coverage, and with Auburn's speed, Army has a real disadvantage. They can't afford to let their defensive backs get locked up man-to-man on Auburn's wide receivers.
48-yard hookup from Dameyune Craig to Tyrone Goodson. This time, Craig tucks and runs. Wide open running room at the 15, and a nice shoestring tackle at the 13-yard line. Kotwika, number 44, Ben Kotwika, made the tackle. You look at Auburn's offense, of course, Craig, the fine quarterback in the backfield, along with McLeod and Rusty Williams. The wide receivers, Bailey, Goodson, the big 48-yard reception, and the tight end is McCovery, a good line of James, Riley, Kiger, Thomas, and Jim Rowe. First and 10 from the 12-yard line, again from the shotgun. They swing it out to Willie Gaucher. Eichelberger made the tackle. Army defensively up front, Angles, Estes, Colin Kearns, and Eichelberger at 6'3", 225, really a linebacker. The backers are King and King, no relations, and Kotwika. Gay, Tyquinko, Brown, and Mullins are your defensive backs for the Black Knights. Second down, 7 from the 9-yard line. Opening drive here in Shreveport. Dameyune Craig having his way early. The little flip to Karsten Bailey inside the 5. to the 3-yard line. Call it the 4.
Well, the problem for Army right now is that this game is starting out just like the Syracuse game did for Army. And Dameyune Craig is doing a very good impersonation of Donovan McNabb. McNabb came out and threw the ball deep, got his team down the field, and they scored early. Craig is doing the exact same thing. This is just the way Auburn drew it up.
Auburn in the red zone, 39 of 40 on 80%, 30 touchdowns, 9 field goals. They're knocking on the door, 3rd down and short from the 3-yard line. Double tight end formation. And the pitch to Beasley, the fullback, to the 1.
Colin Kearns was the guy who came in and made the play for Army that time. Yeah, he's a guy who goes at about 266 pounds. And watch him. He's going to show up in the middle of your screen, penetrate. There he is showing up right now, making the play. Nobody was able to get a hand on him, and he was in the backfield. Kearns is a guy who's quick enough to cause some problems for Auburn today.
Been around a long time, 3-year letterman, a senior from Kenwood, Texas. 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. The pitch, Beasley. High jumps the tackler and was caught behind the line of scrimmage at the 8-yard line. So a 5-yard loss and good active pursuit.
Yeah, but it was Larry Angles, the guy who really made the play. I mean, you talk about the Army defensive line. Look at 76 to the right of your screen there. He shows up and makes that play. He beats the tight end that time, Jesse McCovery, and got in the backfield, and that disrupted the play. He didn't make the tackle, but he forced the play wide, and that's exactly what you have to do if you're going to make plays on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
Angles plays at left defensive end spot, 6'4", 250. Grove City, Ohio is home. 2nd down goal from the 8-yard line. Dameyune Craig again in the shotgun. Lost his footing as he tried to set up. You don't know if he wanted to throw the ball or if he saw some open space up the middle.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to run the ball, but, you know, we were talking about the field before the game started. It looked like a lot of guys were slipping out there, particularly the Auburn guys. And fast guys have a tendency to have a problem when the field is like this. You see the mud right there. You know, that's a soft, soggy field. And then you have the fast guys can't get their footing real well. The big, slow guys don't have a problem with it, right?
Yeah. 3rd down, goal from the 14-yard line. Dameyune Craig up top, 3 wide receivers in the end zone. Couldn't find a man. Incomplete. And that brings up a 4th down and goal from the 14-yard line.
Well, one of the criticisms of a 4 wide receiver offense is that you can't run the football when you get inside the 20-yard line, that you have to be able to do that. As you take a look at Jared Holmes, a great kicker.
Junior college transfer from Hines Community College in Mississippi. This is a 31-yard field goal. And a line drive kick is good from 31. So Auburn takes the opening kick and drives and picks up 3. 10:59 to play, opening quarter. We'll be back after this.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. So
This holiday season,
have yourself
put out the good stuff.
Christmas.
Planters.
One ordinary con.
I did not murder him!
I'm sorry, I'm allergic to bull. One extraordinary adventure.
Somehow, I told you so doesn't quite say it.
I, Robot. Today.
Gotcha.
How does the bottle work again?
Well, I fill it with authentic Guinness draft.
Yes.
So we can walk outside.
Yes.
Go down to the glen.
Yes.
And drink it.
Drink beer at a picnic. Brilliant. What will you think of next?
You know the way you call your mum?
Yes.
Well, I've created a device that lets you talk to her.
Brilliant!
Brilliant!
Guinness Draft, straight from the bottle. Enjoy it everywhere.
Brilliant!
At Geico, we're all about happy customers. In fact, our customer satisfaction is at 97%. But to get the other 3%, we're going door to door across America. What do your cats eat normally?
Well, you know, I have very special cat food for them, but also I like to give them fresh things.
We've met some fascinating people in this great land of ours and hope to have 100% satisfaction very soon.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Auburn won 9 plays, covered 60 yards, and Jared Holmes kicked a 31-yard field goal to put the Tigers on top here early in the Independence Bowl. Ron Thomas 5 yards deep. And so the Black Knights will start up at their own 20-yard line. Let's go downstairs. Talk to Merrill Hodge. Merrill?
You know, Craig, you've seen a little slipping going on down here, and the field is a little wet, but really, all in all, pretty good conditions. Something to be aware of. The field goal that was just kicked was kicked to a field goal that is a little crooked. And also the hash mark should be in college at the 3-yard line. It is marked on the 2-yard line for extra points. So something to be aware of here in the game, especially if it comes down to a field goal.
So a crooked field goal.
Well, you see that, Craig? That should be at the 3-yard line. That circle we had there on that hash mark.
Our first look at Army on the ground. And they pick up 5 yards. Demetrius Perry gets the start of the fullback. And let's talk about Makeda, the quarterback. 63% completion rate, nearly 1,000 yards through the air, but very dangerous run, pass, you name it.
Yeah, smart guy. He can impose his will on a football game as he did against Navy, bringing his team back from 18 points behind to get to this bowl game.
Second down 4 from the 26-yard line, and now a quick timeout called by Ronnie Makeda, the senior out of Mesquite, Texas. We'll step aside. 10:22 to play, opening quarter.
If you missed the U-Game Classic, here's your chance to see it. UConn and UMass battle it out on the hardwood in this down-to-the-wire thriller. And UMass has done it! It's an instant classic, 7 p.m. Eastern Thursday, only on ESPN Classic.
Bobby Riggs and Billie Jean King. Before the Battle of the Sexes, they met with 60 Minutes.
You know, some people just want to win, but I like to win my way.
You can last and beat those girls forever.
60 Minutes on Classic, 8 p.m. Tuesday on ESPN Classic.
If your computer is slowing down or crashing, you may already be infected and not even know it. StopSign is your best defense against threats to your computer and personal files. Don't become a statistic. Get StopSign Computer Protection Service right now. Go to StopSign.com/free and click on Free Virus Scan. Put the power of StopSign to work for you. If we can't cure your entire system, there's no charge. Guaranteed. Don't wait for the worst to happen. Get protected today. Go to www.stopsign.com/free or call 1-800-STOP-SIGN. That's 1-800-STOP-SIGN. Or go to StopSign.com/free. Go now. It's easy.
We are the men and women of the United States Army Reserve. We are regular people who share our time serving our country and our communities. Our training makes us stronger as soldiers and as citizens who stand ready.
To find out how you can serve your country in the Army Reserve, call 1-888-624-ARMY for this free DVD and get a free sports watch. Stand ready in the Army Reserve.
10:22 to play, opening quarter. After the timeout, Army steps to the line at the 26, looking at second down and 4. First man up the middle, the fullback, Demetrius Perry, and a first down for the Black Knights. Spikes made the tackle. For Army offensively, the quarterback, we've talked about this young man, very effective. Makeda in the backfield, Williams, Brizik, and Demetrius Perry taking over for Joe Hewitt. We should see Hewitt today. Ron Thomas and Lashinsky will get their hands on the football plenty today. And up front, not big but effective, Beard, Chadwick, Scott, Ink, and Frederick. Again, Makeda rides Perry into the line to pick up a 3, maybe 4 to the 37-yard line. Defensively for Auburn, up front, Dorsey, Brumbaugh, and Leonardo Carson out of Mobile, Alabama. Carson, a freshman. The linebackers, pretty darn good. Reese, Neal, Spikes, and Mostella A young defensive backs of Bray, Houston, Ware, and Creighton. Ware and Creighton, Rod, freshmen. Second down, 6. Makeda, the keeper, first down to the 45-yard line. And a little bit of slip and a little bit of slide on that play.
You know, Craig, you talk about the option. One thing that people don't normally notice is the splits of the linemen. Look at all the space in between the offensive linemen. What that does is it spreads out the defense, and it makes it easier for the linemen to block, and it makes it tougher for the defense to get a handle on the option. So you'll see those wide splits all day for Army.
First down from the 45-yard line. Makeda wants to throw over the middle like a dart. And incomplete. Rodney Creighton on coverage and going to Lashinsky, who's a pretty good ball control guy at tight end, made 17 receptions on the season, but that one looked like it popped off his pad.
Yeah, well, he's more than just a ball control kind of guy. I don't know what that was a minute ago, but there you see some of the cadets. Lashinsky is a guy who is good enough to play in the NFL. He's a big, good blocker and a good receiver for Army.
Many pro scouts rank him one of the top 3, maybe top 5 tight ends in the country. Army back to their ground game. Perry, the ball carrier. Ricky Neal, number 50.
The interesting thing about Lashinsky is that when he came out of high school, he wanted to go to Northwestern. He was recruited there, and then Northwestern had the coaching change. Gary Barnett came in and said, well, we got to start all over if we're going to recruit you. Lashinsky got discouraged. Army stepped in. He winds up here, and he is considered a top prospect, as you mentioned.
Third down and 6. 49-yard line. Makeda on the option. And a good read defensively by Auburn. Charles Dorsey stayed at home. The big sophomore left in. 292. He dug his toes down and moved around pretty nice and did nice contain work.
Well, you worry about young guys forgetting their assignments. Well, that time Dorsey did nothing of the sort. He was right there, played off the block, got in the backfield, made the play, and Auburn was awfully concerned about their young guys forgetting their assignments.
Fair catch called, bounces into the end zone, and so a 52-yard kick. Auburn with the football and a 3-point lead, 7:51 to play, first quarter. All game long, Dameyune Craig has gone from the shotgun formation, and it's been very effective. Karsten Bailey pulls down the nice throw. Bailey, a sophomore out of Sharpsburg, Georgia.
Well, right now, Craig, bad combination for Army. No pressure on the quarterback and soft coverage in the secondary. So long as that keeps up, Craig is going to have a career day.
First down at the 32-yard line. Craig, good protection again. This time, though, he throws to the post, but his wide receiver broke outside.
Well, that time Army went to a little bit more pressure that time, played their guys a little bit closer. There you see Terry Bowden, who's thinking in terms of getting the ball down the field. He wants to take advantage of the mismatch he has out there at wide receiver. Army simply doesn't have the speed to run with the Auburn guys, as you see what Craig has done already. 4 out of 6 for 69 yards.
And again from the shotgun, second down 10 from the 32. This time he dances out of trouble. Oh boy, wide open running room, and he can sprint at the 50, at the 40. Still on his feet to the 41-yard line. He cut back inside at the 40 and then lost a yard or two, but wow, wide open run, a 26-yard pickup by Dameyune Craig.
Well, remember a couple of plays ago we talked about the soft coverage. Look, they're up now. They're playing a little man bump. They got guys behind them. Guys are going to get back and turn their backs, and that's going to open up the lane for Dameyune Craig to get down the middle. When the defensive backs are playing off and playing man coverage, they don't see the quarterback run. Therefore, they can't come up and make tackles, and a guy like Craig will beat you.
Dameyune Craig scoring 8 touchdowns on the ground this season. Dumps it over the middle, wide open. Marquise Cooper. Cooper, a freshman, a true freshman, a high school All-American from Miami. He's going to hit the old man age of 20, by the way, Rod, January 15th. Oh, would it be nice to be 20 again?
Yeah, but what about that? Only 156 pounds. His mother must be a little bit concerned when he's out there with all those big guys. But don't worry about him. He's quick enough.
Second possession of the game for Auburn, and they have just been up and down the field. Craig, protection, the throw, incomplete. Coming back was Tom Mullins. Nice job to knock it away from Tyrone Goodson.
Yeah, Mullins got away with using his right hand a little bit that time, though. And he grabbed with his right hand and used his left hand to knock the ball off. And that's what you're supposed to do, but you can't grab too early. You'll see him come across with the left hand, but the right hand had Goodson's hip. He got away with it that time. You'll see it from this angle. Watch the right hand. Yep, he's all around him. Comes off with the left hand, knocks it down. I like it, though.
Short yardage situation, 3rd down and 2. Craig could not turn the corner, and coming down the line was Garland Gay, a senior out of Houston, Texas.
Well, Garland Gay will hit you, and he can make big plays. Remember, he had a big interception against Navy that preserved that victory, which propelled Army into this bowl game.
4th down and short. And remember, this run defense by Army, Rod, ranked 6th nationally, giving up only 89 yards a game.
Yeah, I think it's a good decision here for Terry Bowden to go for it, though. Very short yardage. His team's been moving the ball. You want to get ahead of an option team to take them out of running.
Double tight end, the formation, 4th down and just about a yard. And then some. Fred Beasley over the top. He followed his big man, Leonard Thomas, at 289. Jim Rowe, 294, the right guard and the right tackle.
And that time they did a pretty good job of handling number 72, C.W. Estes. He is a great football player, not just for Army, period. He's a guy that can get in and make plays, and they handled him on that play. It'll be a matchup worth watching the rest of the ball game, Craig.
1st and 10. Tigers at the Black Knight 29-yard line. Craig, good protection again, over the middle, wide open, touchdown, Tyrone Goodson.
Oh, Craig, there's nothing fancy about it. We talked about this. When you have man-to-man coverage, if your athlete is better than theirs, you're going to beat him. And Goodson is quick, he's fast, and if you have somebody on him that can't handle him, trouble. Plenty of time for Craig, nobody around him. That's just too long to hope for somebody in Army secondary to cover that man.
17th touchdown throw of the season for Craig, and the 7th reception for Goodson. The extra point, Jared Holmes. Now 44 of 46 on the season. So far, it's been all Tigers here in Shreveport. 5:20 to play, 1st quarter.
So what's this about our Guinness again?
I've discovered that Guinness Draft has only 125 calories.
Only 125 calories? Brilliant! What else have you been up to?
I've invented this little book. It's black. You put women's phone numbers in it.
A little black book? Brilliant!
Come here often. You can also use it as a coaster.
A coaster? Brilliant!
Brilliant!
Guinness Draft has only 125 calories. Enjoy it responsibly.
Brilliant!
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. So
This holiday season,
have yourself
put out the good stuff.
a Christmas.
Planters.
Now on DVD.
When it comes to football, no one knows the red zone like Joe Montana.
Joe Montana here with RZ Trainer, an exciting new training tool guaranteed to bring you to the top of your game fast.
Introducing RZ Trainer, a revolutionary new passing and catching trainer that immediately improves your football handling skills. Attach the adjustable belt to your waist and set the length on the rebounding cord. Improve your passing, receiving, hand-eye coordination, defensive ball handling skills, reflexes, and confidence. No more chasing the ball.
With RZ Trainer, you can get lots of throws and catches in a short amount of time, and you don't need a partner.
RZ Trainer has a built-in swivel that spins with the ball, and the rebounding cord is adjustable for throwing distances up to 30 feet. When you're done practicing, just detach the cord, and your durable leather-grain football is ready for the game. RZ Trainer is just $29.95 and comes with a 100% play better guarantee.
RZ Trainer is a great training tool. I'm amazed at how fast my son is learning to catch and throw the football.
Offense and defense alike, every football player should learn how to throw as well as catch.
RZ Trainer is just $29.95 and comes with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Order 2 or 3 and save. RZ Trainer makes a great gift.
RZ Trainer helps you get the most out of your practice time so you can get through the red zone and into the end zone.
Improve your game in the red zone. RZ Trainer is just $29.95. Order 2 or 3 and save. Call 1-800-406-3043 or order online at rztrainer.com. Money back guarantee. Order now.
We start the second quarter with Auburn on top 10-0 as you look at the Black Knights of Army.
So far, speed has been killing the Black Knights. Auburn has a whole lot of it, especially at the wide receiver position.
Tigers in good field position again. Second down 11 as we start the second quarter. Auburn up by 10. Dameyune Craig from the shotgun, 2 backs. Craig this time says, I'm going to try this again. And tucks and runs and slides to the 22-yard line. Downstairs in Merrill Hodge.
Well, Craig, you saw Dameyune Craig, right? Well, you're looking at a pack 75. Every time a quarter ends or a score, this thing's going to go off. Now, I'm telling you this is the kind of thing you want to take hunting with you.
Well, you see Dameyune Craig, he didn't know what to hit him.
Oh, no, that's the most pressure he's felt all day.
Very good. Now, Merrill likes to hunt those birds. I don't know. Craig's numbers 9 of 15, 152 yards, and already 45 yards on the ground. Again from the shotgun, Craig feels pressure, ducks trouble. Still buying some time, goes the other way, wide open, Robert Baker to the 11-yard line.
Well, Craig, as long as Dameyune Craig can sit back there and pick his teeth, he's going to have the time of his life. Look at this. You're going to see the offensive line give him a lot of time. Only 4 men rushing for Army. Well, finally, Craig says, I'm tired of this. I'm going to move outside, see if I can see somebody. You cannot, in the secondary, cover guys for 5 seconds. And that's about as long as Army had back there to cover. Can't do it.
First down, 10 at the 11-yard line. I formation. Craig under center. Tigers knocking on the door. The pitch play, Rusty Williams. And the Black Knights do not bend. They knock him down at the 12-yard line. And the tackle by Kotwika.
Kotwika is certainly a guy who can make plays in the middle of the field.
You know, he's a great story. 5'11", 211 pounds. He's a team captain for Army. He's got the strong safety size, Rod, but you know what? Leader. And again, Merrill talked about leverage. He's a success at the inside linebacker.
Well, he's already down low.
Yeah, he doesn't have to much.
He gets up there and makes the hits, yeah.
Second down 10 from the 11. Dameyune Craig rolls out, fires the other way, and contact made, but the catch pulled down by the tight end, Jesse McCovery. And Garland Gay, there's a bit of a size differential there. Gay at 187, McCovery 255.
But look what's going on up front. Estes, number 72, is the best defensive lineman for Army. He gets nowhere near the quarterback. He's their sack leader with 6. They have kept him out of the backfield, and that is a chief reason why Dameyune Craig is having a huge first half.
Yeah, they call him their big-time pass rush threat, and so far has been unable to find Dameyune Craig. From the shotgun, third down, 6 from the 7. Craig throws, fires, touchdown. Touchdown, Willie Gaucher.
Willie Gaucher, touchdown.
Well, Gaucher did a nice job getting outside. And this time you will find that Army just lost some of the receivers. They were playing a little bit of a zone out there. Now watch as Gaucher goes to the outside. Inside coverage that time by Augusta at 34. He just doesn't realize how far away Gaucher has gotten from him. And you've got to have better presence and awareness in the secondary. You can't let a guy be that wide open in the end zone when you're playing a zone.
Second touchdown of the season for Gaucher, and the second thrown today by Dameyune Craig. The extra point is up and true, and Auburn with a 17-0 lead on Army. We'll come back to Shreveport after this.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. So
This holiday season,
yourself
put out the good stuff.
Christmas.
Planters.
Decide your destiny. A life of virtue or villainy is up to you. Fable, for every choice, a consequence. Rated mature.
Red Sox fans, celebrate Boston's amazing World Series victory with 3 great gifts from Sports Illustrated. You'll get this officially licensed signature baseball in a specially designed display case and Sports Illustrated's World Series commemorative book, all free with your paid subscription. Remember this historic team forever with the ultimate collectible, a baseball with signatures from the World Series champions. Ortiz, Pedro, Schilling, Damon, Manny, Veritek, and more. Display your championship ball inside this high-quality case engraved with the Boston Red Sox and World Series logos. Call now and you'll also receive SI's special World Series commemorative book featuring the historic come-from-behind win over the Yankees, SI's picks for the greatest Boston Red Sox players of all time, and more. Your gifts are free when you order 56 issues of SI for only $1.59 an issue. You'll save 60% off the cover price. Own a piece of Red Sox history with 3 great collectibles from Sports Illustrated. Call now.
There's number 55, one of Auburn's fine linebackers, Takeo Spikes. I call him Mr. Spikes.
Yeah, he can run, can't he? Oh. He is fast.
5 wide receivers for the Tigers, 3rd down 25. On the shotgun, good protection over the middle, complete. Boy, the go-to guy in this first half has been Willie Gaucher. Add another reception to his total.
You know, I don't get this. You know, Army is bringing 4 guys against nobody in the backfield. They have no running backs to help protect. 5 guys out on routes. You can't put pressure on the quarterback like that. I understand Army is afraid of the man-to-man coverage back there, but you can't let that quarterback sit back there and pick you apart.
And we talked to the defensive coordinators. They said, hey, if we see it, we'll bring it. They don't like to blitz, though. They're not a blitzing defense, but if they get the opportunity, they said they would send a backer.
Well, they said they would send 5 pretty much all the time, but they were sending 4 against 5 linemen and 5 receivers out on routes. You just can't win a matchup like that.
Well, the officials have huddled at the 37. Our referee today is Jim Fogeltantz.
Well, how about the job Terry Bowden is doing offensively? He's calling the plays for his team today. His brother was named the head coach at Tulane, and so now there are 3 Bowdens who are head coaches in Division I college football. Division 1A, I should say. Keep in mind there are only 4 African-American head coaches, so there are almost as many Bowden coaches as African-American head coaches, and there are 111.
You look at the Tigers' possessions. They start at their 26, 9 plays. They get the field goal, then the touchdown. They fumble, then a touchdown on their 4th possession. And right now, they start at their own 24. And this will be the 9th play of the drive.
Kind of drive you expect from Army.
Yeah. 3rd down, call it a yard. This time, Army showing blitz. They come up and shoestring tackle Dameyune Craig. Katwika, number 44, made the shoestring tackle, but a 1st down for the Tigers. Now let's see. I don't know if they got a good spot or not.
Well, even if they didn't get it, I presume that man will go for it on 4th down. And they've been moving the ball pretty well. And you're inside Army territory. You might as well go for it on 4th down if you haven't picked it up already.
Well, originally the officials spotted that football at the 35. Now it's back around the 36. So they're going to bring the chains out. I think they're going to be short.
Yeah, I think you may be right, but I think you go for it. Yeah, they're very short.
Short by at least a football's length. So that brings up 4th down, less than a yard. Terry Bowden will make the decision. Coached at Salem College, Sanford. His 13-year record, 99, 45 and 2. It's a big game for Terry Bowden. Some pressure's been on him. Lost their last 2 regular season games. Looking for his 100th career win from the eye. 4th and short. Beasley spins. 1st down, Auburn. At the 32.
Once again, up front, Auburn doing a great job offensively. Their line really firing out, opening up the hole, making it easy for Beasley to pick up the 1st down. And remember what Merrill talked about, leverage, getting underneath? Well, how about the job that number 68 Victor Riley did? He got his pads underneath and just crushed his man. Big hole there. You know, Craig, you were talking about Terry Bowden being under some pressure this year. Remember, he started 11-0 at Auburn. In fact, 20-0 before he lost his first ball game.
And a lot of course, Pat Dye's kids. It's a very young team. 11th play of this drive. Big opener. Rusty Williams picks up 8, maybe 9 to the 23-yard line.
He has a young team. Remember, when he took over the program at Auburn, you see the record 11-0 and then 9-1-1 in '94. He did have some guys from Pat Dye's era, but also Auburn was on probation. He had a tough time recruiting. So now he has numbers that are down, not a lot of seniors. So they've struggled in close ball games this year.
Yeah, close games indeed. Especially those last two games of the season. Flags are down before the snap.
Prior to snap, offsides, on the defense, penalty making a 1st down.
Oh, the penalty, automatic 1st down. Yeah, we talked about the close games. You take a look at LSU, that was a 4-point loss. Florida knocked out by, what, 41. And then look at the last 2 games out of the season. 56-49, Georgia, 4 overtimes, and then Alabama by 1.
Yeah, you win 2 of those 3 ball games.
No one's complaining.
Yeah.
A 1st down from the 18-yard line. I formation, the pitch play. Rusty Williams, and nice tackle in the backfield. Big number 93.
That's Mike Corper who came in to make that play. And he is actually in for Larry Engels, number 76. Corper does not get that many snaps, but he was the right man at the right place that time. And Auburn needed a play. They are in danger of, Army needed a play. They're in danger of having Auburn put another score up. And, Merrill told you that if they were hanging their heads before, another score now, those heads might go a lot lower.
Under 4 minutes to play in the half. 2nd down, 14. Craig, the 5-step drop, fires a dart to the far side, and the catch is made. Nope, incomplete. Karsten Bailey had to really try to dig it out of the turf. Karsten Bailey, the sophomore from Sharpsburg, Georgia.
Yeah, you see him point to himself. He said, my bad. I was there. I should have had it. Just dropped it. Throw it to me again. Yeah. He wants to get in on the fun because everybody else is running down the field, catching touchdown passes, and he hasn't had one yet.
Tyrone Goodson's been in on some big plays from Dameyune Craig. During the season, Karsten Bailey was Dameyune Craig's favorite wide receiver with 45 receptions. 14th play of this drive. 5 wide receivers set. 3rd down, 14. Army sending the blitz. Oh, they sent Kotwika, 44, came in untouched, the inside linebacker.
Well, remember we talked earlier about nobody in the backfield and how they were not putting the pressure on. Well, now they come with the pressure. There you see Denny Dornbos, the defensive coordinator, who's finally gone with it. And again, Craig is down. That's another hit on him. This time he's on the field, not getting up. And obviously nobody wants to see Dameyune Craig get hurt. He's grabbing his neck there, but certainly Army understands that in order to have a chance to win the ball game, they have to put pressure on the quarterback. They have to hit him.
Well, they took a chance deep inside their own territory and came after Craig with Kotwika.
Well, anytime you put your quarterback in the backfield and you don't have running backs to protect him, you expose him to these kinds of hits. Two guys coming in cleanly, getting shots on him. That time it was Stephen King, number 60, who got the big hit on him, and you saw Craig went right down.
Well, while they attend to Dameyune Craig, we'll step aside. We'll keep you updated. 3:29 to play in the half.
If you missed the U-Game Classic, here's your chance to see it. UConn and UMass battle it out on the hardwood in this down-to-the-wire thriller.
And UMass has done it!
It's an instant classic, 7 p.m. Eastern Thursday, only on ESPN Classic.
Sometimes you have to hit rock bottom.
He's a loser. Everybody wants a piece of me.
Before you catch your big break.
How can I lose?
Paul Newman stars in The Hustler.
Yeah.
Real classics. 8 Eastern Sunday. Only on ESPN Classic.
Hey, what do you got?
Safe, professional, affordable. Have you been waiting for affordable LASIK? Now, Future Vision Laser Center has the answer for you. The ultimate LASIK experience. The ultimate LASIK experience starts at just $195 per eye, the lowest price in Illinois today, and it's only available at Future Vision Laser Center. Call 1-888-633-6333 now. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Future Vision Laser Center. Safe, professional, affordable.
Looks great, honey.
Give yourself and your holiday spirit a boost with Dunkin' Donuts' new holiday lattes. Available in 2 delicious flavors, white chocolate raspberry and peppermint mocha. Dunkin' Donuts, bring yourself back.
We've been away, and now you see him for the first time roll over on his back and now begins to set up, and that is relief for Tiger fans.
Yeah, more than just Tiger fans. That's a relief for everyone who appreciates competition. You don't want to see anybody hurt like that, and to see him walk off the field is tremendous after the shot he took.
Takes the helmet off. Yeah, he took a glancing blow. It was a second man through, Stephen King.
Yeah, watch number 60 coming into the screen from your left. You'll see him show up right now. Here's the blow he delivers, and you see how Dameyune Craig's head was down, and he took that blow right on the right side of his head, and immediately grabbed his helmet in pain.
They continue to take a look at Dameyune Craig. John Cooley is Craig's backup, a senior out of Sarasota. This will be a 49-yard field goal attempt by Jared Holmes. Good snap, a line drive kick is up and through. So from 49 yards, Jared Holmes builds that Tiger lead to 20. 3:15 to play in the half as they continue to look at Craig.
With 3:15 left in the half.
What are you holding now?
A six-pack.
A six-pack? Brilliant! What'd you do?
Well, I figured out how to carry 6 beers at the same time.
Carry 6 beers at the same time? Brilliant! Let's drink them.
You know, I've been thinking, it might not be the smartest idea to drink 6 beers at the same time.
Don't drink 6 beers at the same time? Brilliant!
Brilliant!
Drink Guinness draft straight from the bottle, and always enjoy it responsibly.
Brilliant!
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. So
This holiday season,
yourself
put out the good stuff.
Christmas.
Planters.
A murder only he can solve. An enemy only he can defeat.
Hell no.
Come on! Did you
Did you shoot at me with your eyes closed?
It worked, didn't it?
Will Smith, iRobot, today.
We are the men and women of the United States Army Reserve. We are regular people who share our time serving our country and our communities. Our training makes us stronger as soldiers and as citizens who stand ready.
To find out how you can serve your country in the Army Reserve, call 1-888-624-ARMY for this free DVD and get a free sports watch. Stand ready in the Army Reserve.
We all work hard and we have bills to pay. Sometimes it's difficult to make ends meet. If you're a homeowner and you need cash, call or log on to ditech.com and take the Ditech Challenge. We'll guarantee you the lowest rate and fee and help you to consolidate debts and lower your payments so you can get back on your feet. Put us to the test and find out why so many other lenders are saying, lost another loan to Ditech. Log on or call 1-800-80-DITECH.
3:15 to play, opening half in the Independence Bowl in Shreveport, Louisiana. Auburn Tigers on top of Army by 20. There's a guy with a pretty good leg in my book. Jared Holmes just kicked one from 49.
Yeah, he's got a leg on him, huh? Pretty good kicker.
Ron Thomas for Army at his own goal line. Jared Holmes has it teed up. Line drive kick. Ron Thomas at the goal line. Thomas at the 20. Thomas at the 25. And on second effort, things down to the 28-yard line. Let's go downstairs and Merrill Hodge.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Craig. I'm with the special guest, Lieutenant General Dan Chrisman. And General is a superintendent of the academy. And General, the Army's had a great success this year. What has that done for the academy?
It's brought the spirits up to an absolute peak. You can hear that in the background with the cadets right now. But I think it's also focused the interest and the attention of America on a lot of what's going on extremely well across the board in all the service academies, not just sports, but academics and military.
Now, one thing about these men, I know that they never give up. I know they're down 20 points right now, but you don't expect them to give up.
No service academy football team never gives up. We'll be back.
Well, thanks, sir. Let's go back to the top, guys.
Thank you, Merrill. Three-star general.
Yeah, they know how to say it. How about what General George C. Marshall, the Chief of Staff for the Army, said in World War II? I want an officer for a secret and dangerous mission. I want a West Point football player.
Yeah. Second down 2. On the option. Down to sideline, big gainer. Jeff Brizik took the pitch from Makeda.
Well, this is a 2-minute option.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, they've got 3 minutes, actually 2:29 now to get a score. And when they do that, they don't throw the ball. They go to the wide option. You know, they pitch the ball, counter option. The cadets can get a little crazy too, huh?
First down, Army.
First down for the Black Knights at the 44-yard line. Bob Sutton pacing the sideline in his 6th year. They ride the fullback, Joe Hewitt. Jimmy Brumbaugh made the tackle. Tomorrow, be sure to tune in to ABC Sports for the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl. Number 2, Arizona State battles 4th-ranked Ohio State New Year's Day, 4:30 Eastern on ABC Sports. Yeah. I love saying granddaddy of them all.
How good is that one going to be?
Yeah.
You got Jake Plummer, you know, you got
Orlando
Poole,
Pace over there.
Ron Springs at corner. Some great matchups in that ball game.
Second down 8. Makeda going up top. Got a man. The catch is pulled down. Bobby Williams, the left halfback, and the Black Knights with their best field position at the 22.
Well, the thing about the option is that it will lull you to sleep. And that time they picked on one of the defensive backs for Auburn, number 25, Martavius Houston. He got lulled into sleep because he's been up tackling the option up close. He forgets to pick up his man. He runs way down the field. Bobby Williams picks it up. Army is in business.
Only his 4th reception of the season, a 33-yard pickup to the 21-yard line. Makeda, the quarterback keeper at the 5 to the 3. Big drive by the Black Knights as we head down to halftime. 1:30 left on the clock.
Well, when a general tells you to come back, you come back. Look at the hole to the left side. Easily to run through that. Great blocking again by Doug Chadwick and Dave Beard, opening up that hole over there. and Mikata got right in behind it.
18-yard gain. First and goal from the 3-yard line. Hewitt, the fullback. The handoff into the end zone. Bobby Williams.
Was it just a coincidence we had a 3-star general telling them to come back, and now they're right back?
9th rushing touchdown for Bobby Williams, a 190-pound sophomore from Kingston, North Carolina.
And Williams was the man. The big play was the catch he made over Martavius Houston to set up the touchdown.
Extra point, Joseph Parker has yet to miss one this season, 40 of 40. And make it 41 of 41. So the drought is over for Army. Auburn now, their lead whittled down to 20-7. Pretty impressive drive. Nice pass and run mix.
Yeah, watch the blocking there. Good blocking by the tight end, number 84, Ron Lashinsky. We told about how Lashinsky is such a good blocker. Great effort that time. That opened up the hole for Williams to get in for that score. Nice second effort on the play as well.
Rodney Creighton at 158 pounds, the right corner, trying to take on Bobby Williams, but Williams able to plow in for the first touchdown of this game here for Army.
Well, 84 Lashinsky is such a good blocker. And he weighs about 240 pounds as a tight end, and that's why he's a prospect. He can block like that, and he can catch the ball.
Well, Rod, psychologically, as you go into halftime with 1:15, that drive,
huge.
You can't even probably put it on the map.
Huge, absolutely huge for that team. You don't see any guys hanging their heads right now.
Let's go downstairs and update you on Dameyune Craig. Merrill.
Hey, Craig and Rodney, talk to the team doctor. Dameyune Craig has a bruised neck, but he will be back playing. Back to you guys.
So Auburn will get their quarterback back. They'll get a chance. I have to wonder, let's see if he comes in on this series before half.
I would certainly keep him out until the second half with a minute and 15 to go here.
Eric Olson kicks it away. Takes a hop at the 18, and a nice return by Eric Hines Tucker to the 33-yard line.
First day. Nervous? Want me to drop you off here so you can walk up?
No, you can pour it up.
Sure you're gonna be all right?
Should be. Hi, honey. What's up?
Nice ride. Hey.
No. Hey.
Okay, here.
Here. Mm-mm.
All right.
All right. My man.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking double because of Domino's new Double Melt Pizza. Layer upon layer of flavor with a creamy blend of cheeses and herbs between two thin crusts. Buy your medium one-topping Double Melt Pizza for $9.99 and get any second medium pizza for just $5 more.
How you doing?
Get the door. It's Domino's new Double Melt Pizza.
No way.
Introducing the Delph Holiday Sweepstakes.
You're the Delph, right?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I knew it.
Go online now to see how you could win over $60,000 in prizes.
Who's the big winner?
Sir?
You can just pull it in the driveway.
Did you tell me where the Ziegelman's house is?
I live right there.
Thanks.
Wait.
It's a Delph! Every week, one lucky winner gets the Dell Toy Box, a Cadillac Escalade filled with a 700M wireless notebook powered by Intel Centrino mobile technology, an awesome Dell 42-inch plasma TV, the new Pocket DJ, this new Dell photo printer, and a $500 gift card, plus much more. And there's a new winner every week. Go online now to see how you could win and get great deals on this Dimension desktop with the power and performance of an Intel Pentium 4 processor. It's only $539 with a free flat panel upgrade. Plus, get free 2-day shipping. Get more out of ordering a Dell this holiday, and get more out of now. Dell PCs use Intel Pentium 4 processors.
Third quarter, 10:19 to go. Auburn up top of Army, 20-7. The lights have been on, Rod, since the start. A lot of fog. around the south.
Yeah, it's been rainy and kind of dark and all that kind of stuff. Perfect football weather, huh?
You bet. From the eye. Dameyune Craig throws near side. Ron Thomas. Check that. Willie Gaucher.
Well, Gaucher's having a big day, and he was the Tigers' leading receiver last season with 58 catches. Came back this year and wasn't the top receiver. Wasn't even one of the starters initially.
Minarati's had to spread it around with Carson Bailey and Tyrone Goodson. Robert Baker. Saints are on their way out to the far sideline. From the far sideline to the near sideline. And the stretch. First down, Auburn at the 38.
Oh, let's see if Auburn keeps in someone to help protect Craig as they throw the football. They threw the quick route that time. Now they're back in their I formation where they tend to pound the football with the toss sweep play, Craig.
Kevin McLeod, Rusty Williams, your two back. Rusty Williams, 5 yards to the 34-yard lines. Let's check in with Merrill Hodge. Merrill.
Thanks, Craig. You know, the Spirit of Independence Award was awarded its first time in 1977 to General Omar N. Bradley, who was, at the time was the only living 5-star general. In 1914, he was a starter for the Army team as a center. In 1943, was a personal representative to Dwight D. Eisenhower. After 1977, he presented the award all the way up into 81 until he passed away, to which they then added his name to the trophy because he stood for everything the award was for: courage, strength, commitment, and patriotism. It's kind of ironic, guys, that this award, I think, fits hand in glove with Army, but this is the first time Army has ever played in the Independence Bowl. Back to you guys.
Yeah, well said. Today, that award will be given out
to the Veterans for America.
Incomplete pass stops the clock with 9:02 remaining in the third quarter.
Another third down, big third down for Army. They can't afford to let Auburn pick up another first down and get a score here. This is what Sutton was talking about. They need to come up on third down with plays to get back in the ball game.
4 wide receivers, 3 to the far side. They're going to go short side of the field in a collision. Karsten Bailey. They threw into triple coverage that time, and some big hitting going on. Robert Brown led the way.
Yeah, Robert Brown almost picked this ball off. He's going to be in the center of the field. You'll see him as he'll show up. There he is, bottom of your screen to the left. He reads it perfectly. He just doesn't come up with the play. That would have been huge for Army. Perfect read. Good job. Would have been a great job if he'd caught it.
Robert Brown, a junior out of San Antonio. 4th down and 5, and a interesting call right here by Terry Bowden from the shotgun. 4th and 5 from the 33-yard line. Out of trouble, Dameyune Craig down the sideline. He's going to walk in. Dameyune Craig, touchdown.
You know, that is a guy who is just a tremendous athlete. The blitz was brought from the outside. Kodwika, 44, came in. Craig gave him a juke, and then he went down the sideline. That's just a case of one athlete being better than another. Watch Craig. Here comes the pressure. He just gets around it, and then there's nobody there. Because of the pressure coming, he scampers for 33 yards and a touchdown. Huge 4th down play.
Gutty, 4th down call.
Yeah, got to give Terry Bowden credit for that.
Terry Bowden, now he wants a timeout.
Well, Craig, he was in an area of the field where he couldn't punt it, and he figured he didn't like the field goal option, so go ahead and go for the first down.
So Dameyune Craig takes the hat off. He wants to talk to his coach. 8:51 to play in the quarter.
What's your real name?
I'm
a what?
gonna kick your we need to take it slow.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Alias premieres with a special 2-hour event, Wednesday, January 5th, only on ABC.
Have you ever wanted to develop your artistic abilities? If so, you may already have the interest and desire needed to become a serious art student. To find out, simply call toll-free, and Art Instruction Schools will send you this enjoyable art test. There's no cost or obligation. Take the test at home in your spare time and mail it to us when you're done. Our experts will review and score your test. Since 1914, we've helped thousands of aspiring artists become more skilled, more confident, and more creative in their art. Whether you're interested in realism or fantasy, figure drawing or cartooning, you can pursue your vision under the expert guidance of our talented instructors. Call today for your free art test. We'll help you become a better artist. Call 1-800-883-5995.
The Poland Weed Eater Independence Bowl, 2:40 to play third quarter. Army looking at, again, Rod, a 4th down and 3 from the 23.
Big 4th down. They need this here. And they may go to their big man, too, their big tight end, Lashinsky.
Also Dunning in the lineup. The motion man is Rizik up top, going for the home run ball. Contact in the end zone, incomplete.
No flags anywhere. Army looking for the flags. They were trying to get to Chris Dunning, one of their tight ends. Surprising that they would try to go deep down the field. I thought they would try to get the first down with Lashinsky, but it was really Dunning that they went after. 2 tight ends to the right side. Dunning goes down deep, not fooled at all. Auburn back in good coverage. Look at the play that Creighton, number 10, makes out there. And again, a young player, a freshman, stepping up to make a good play for Auburn. And Makeda has just not been able to make the big plays when his team has needed it this afternoon.
So they turned the ball over on downs. Auburn with a 26-7 lead will start up at the 23. Dameyune Craig, play action, sidesteps trouble, goes down the middle, wide open, and what a catch by Baker. 49 yards.
Yeah, there was pressure. Look at the blocking here. You're going to see this quarterback, Craig, have plenty of time, even with pressure from the outside, and he's going to find the route down the middle. Good pocket protection. Look at him buy time now. Steps up. He's got his man in the middle. He's wide open there. Robert Baker, had the ball been right on the money, he would still be running. But what a great catch by Baker, who had to lay out here and pick it up.
1st and 10 at the Army 28-yard line. Dameyune Craig over the middle again, and they're hit incomplete. Tyrone Goodson took a pop at the 5-yard line. Hard hit. Robert Brown said hello.
Yeah, and that's the way you play deep safety football. You can't let guys run down the middle and catch the ball on you. Auburn's been doing it all day. Finally, Brown says enough of this. Watch 18 show up now with a big hit and makes separation. Guys will catch the football, Craig, but every now and then you got to knock it out of there. And Brown knocked that one away from Goodson.
And Goodson's still down. You know, as a wide receiver, Rodney, you play defensive back yourself. You know, you come across the middle, the train is going to hit you once in a while.
Yeah, you know, and actually Auburn has been taking advantage of the fact that the train has been late most of the day.
Yes.
You know, but now Army comes through with a big hit, sending a message saying we've had enough of that. That man sent the message there, Robert Brown. And Goodson looks like he's going to be okay. He's sitting up like that. Probably got the wind knocked out of him.
Tyrone Goodson, 88 career receptions before the start of this game. A 2nd-team pick in the All-Southeast Conference.
Watch the hit again here. A big shot, and look at how he just snapped back from that hit. And then he gets another hit once again from someone else coming in. It looks like it was number 16, Taquinco. So he actually got 2 hits on the play. You're going to get hit like that, you hope you can hang on to the ball.
I don't think the body was made to move that way.
Let's face it, the body was not meant to play football.
You're right. Oh, that's good. Goodson is up. A junior, Brooksville, Florida.
At Central High School, he was a pretty good quarterback out there. Made a name for himself. Everybody talked about him. He was really an outstanding recruit when he came out. Everybody flocked down to Brooksville to try to recruit him.
You know, Rod, it's amazing when you're around college football and you'll read players' bios how many times a kid's recruited to play one position, but yet a year or two later they wind up playing a totally different spot, offense or defense. Rumbling up the middle, Rusty Williams inside the 15 to the 13-yard line.
You know, we've talked about the great job Auburn's done up front, but how about Riley? I mean, his pass blocking has been great, but he has just been blowing guys off the line of scrimmage whenever they've run the ball. He's a big man, 321 pounds, first-year starter, but he's played like a veteran today.
Victor Riley, a second-team All-SEC selection, 1st and 10. Auburn at the 13-yard line from the I. Now some movement up front and a push and a shove. The nose guard, Colin Kearns, makes the jump. Or was he drawn off?
Prior to snap, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty.
Aren't you impressed with how Dameyune Craig has responded to the injury he had in the first half? Knocked around, bruised neck, came back in the second half, and has been just as effective in the second half.
23 of 36, Rod, 361 yards, 2 touchdowns, an Independence Bowl record. What a game through the air. Rusty Williams, touchdown Auburn.
Well done, Rusty. Well done, Rusty. You know, he moved like that train in Starlight Express, Rusty. You know, he just opened up, chewed up there, got that good thing going and made the touchdown. And now Auburn is rolling like a train.
Williams, a redshirt freshman, 18 yards for his 5th touchdown of 1996. 1:04 to play, third quarter, and Auburn really pulling away at 32-7, the extra point to come.
And Rusty Williams is a guy who almost went to Notre Dame until he took his recruiting visit and found out how cold it was and then said, nope, not going to go there.
Auburn wants to go for 2, and now they've had to call a timeout.
So what's this about our Guinness again?
I've discovered that Guinness Draft has only 125 calories.
Only 125 calories? Brilliant! What else have you been up to?
I've invented this little book. It's black. You put women's phone numbers in it.
A little black book? Brilliant!
Come here often. You can also use it as a coaster.
A coaster? Brilliant!
Brilliant!
Guinness Draft has only 125 calories. Enjoy it responsibly.
Brilliant!
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. So
This holiday season, put out the good stuff. Planters.
Yeah, I'm trying to add a new car to my policy online, and I...
No, that's not possible.
Oh, you don't do that?
No.
Can I pay my bill online?
No,
you don't do that either?
No, sorry, can't do that.
You don't do that? Okay. So, what do you do?
Hey, think easier. Think Progressive. Our top-rated website lets you do virtually everything with your policy, easily and instantly. Check out Progressive.com.
Attendance today, good crowd here in Shreveport, 41,366 on hand to watch the Poland Weed Eater Independence Bowl. 2-point try for Auburn. 4 wide receivers. Craig had his man.
That's the second time.
Karsten Bailey was all by his lonesome on the back line of the end zone.
Yeah, well, on the last 2-point conversion, he had his man wide open in the back of the field. And he just didn't get it there. He's had trouble dropping that one in, but that's about the only thing he hasn't done well today. And Dameyune Craig has been on top of everything else, and Sutton is absolutely livid with his team as they aren't getting it done defensively.
Now we've been talking about Merrill Hodge. Let us have his chance to defend himself. Merrill, go ahead, pal.
Well, and Rodney, to a guy who doesn't run crooked, Tyson, who took a heck of a shot. I checked on him. He got a cut in the mouth, but he's going to be fine. And like all good football players, he'll be right back in the action. Back to you guys.
I'm surprised he didn't take a shot at you.
He didn't. I set him up, too. All right, there's a look at Goodson. After all that, it's amazing. Just comes away with a cut on the mouth.
Yeah, he's a tough guy. You got to be a tough guy to play that game. Got to be a tough coach to coach it, too. I mean, what Terry Bowden has gone through at Auburn, you win your first 20 ball games, and then people start talking about firing you because you only win 7.
Another strong kick by Jared Holmes, and Ron Thomas again forced to take a knee. The return has not been there for Army today.
Well, this man needs to return for them. They need this man to get something going for them. Army's had a great season. That game against Navy was absolutely fantastic, and that man, Ron Makeda, was the reason why. And I'm sure right now you will not see any quit in this team. They're going to come fired up again, running the option, trying to knock off Auburn. Tough football again.
School record, 10 wins for Army, making their first bowl appearance in 8 years. Makeda on the keeper. Driven back and hit hard by Ricky Neal, his 6th stop of the afternoon, and they'll mark his forward progress to the 22.
Well, the problem for Army right now is that Auburn defensively is just too fast. They are running past blocks. They're able to run down the outside of the option because Army doesn't have a guy who can just go 80 yards on you.
Winding down the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 7. Makeda in the pocket, has plenty of running room. At the 25 and brought down at the 31-yard line. How about Ricky Neal? I'll tell you what, he covered a lot of ground. Ricky Neal, the inside linebacker, number 50.
Well, Ricky Neal just showed you the speed that we're talking about. I mean, he's a guy that's 227 pounds, but watch how he gets out there and runs down Makeda. He's in the middle of the screen. You'll see him show up just after Makeda gets out to the left side here. Now Makeda takes off. Neal's going to show up. Neal shows up right there and closes the ground quickly. And that's what's happening to Army. They can't outrun these guys.
Makeda on the option and the pitch. Not much, maybe 2.
Well, there's that man again.
Guess what?
The cannon.
The end of the 3rd quarter. Auburn all smiles, leading Army by 32-7.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. So
This holiday season,
have yourself
put out the good stuff. Planters.
Who do you think's coming for you?
Her name is Electra.
Soon, Electra, you'll see for yourself how far you've come.
Electra. This film is not yet rated. January 14th.
When it comes to your investments, here at the financial company I founded 20 years ago,
We're in. Hey, join the evolution. Okay, we're out.
and that's why we care about your financial future.
Oh, a classic moment here at the Independence Bowl. Three-star general. How many? He's doing some chest bumps,
yeah.
and he was leading the cheers.
A three-star general chest bumping.
Oh, it was classic. We'll show it to you here in just a second. 2nd down, 7. The hook up. Ron Thomas. Take you back here as we just came back from commercial.
Who says that generals aren't fun. Check this out. That's Dan Christian.
3-star general. Now he's going to take a break.
Well, the thing you missed was that at the end of that, he gave a little chest bump there. Who said Army guys aren't fun?
There you go. 1st and 10, Army at the 46. Quarterback keeper, Makeda. Oh, he took a spill at midfield at the 50. Antoine Nolan.
Stop by number 13, Antoine Nolan. He's second.
McLeod jumps off that bench, and now he's trying to get back in that serious mode.
How do you explain that to the coach? I was just talking to the TV cameras,
That's
Coach.
right.
I didn't know I was on that team.
2nd down, 5. Little misdirection. Hand off, Bobby Williams. He's got sprinter speed. 1 man to beat. Steps out at the 15-yard line.
Bobby Williams with the carry.
Bobby Williams, a sophomore.
This is the way you attack speed. You counter it. You get people going one way. Williams is here, and he's going to come around this way, and you're going to get action going back that way. Well, what happens with Auburn is they start going the wrong way. That's called the counter. They didn't even see him until it was too late.
34-yard pickup and a 1st down at the 15-yard line. Again, they're trying to get the Auburn defense to flow. Again, they come right back with the same play, other side of the field.
Yep, you're exactly right. And that time, Ricky Neal missed a tackle. Hey, you know, he's the guy that's so fast, you know, was running around out there, number 50. Well, he ran again, and that time he ran right past Brizek.
One way to counter
speed,
yeah. Clock running, under 13.5 minutes to play. Straight ahead. Demetrius Perry, and he was hit by Brumbaugh and Carson.
Yeah, but, you know, Charles Dorsey, number 91, though, is the guy who made that play. I mean, defensive linemen who don't make tackles sometimes are up there making good plays, allowing their teammates to make tackles. And 91, Charles Dorsey did that last time and has been doing it all game long. Doesn't get a lot of attention, though, unless you make the tackle, right?
3rd down and 7. Inside the 5 to the 1. Touchdown. It was a late call, but Perry bulls his way in for his 7th touchdown of the season.
Demetrius Perry was the man who's been replacing Joe Hewitt. And Perry was the one who carried it in there. Has been an able replacement, not the same kind of runner. Only carried the ball 112 times this season to the 141 by Hewitt, but certainly nice run that play.
Joseph Parker with the extra point, and he remains perfect on the season. 42 of 42. 12:44 to go here in Shreveport. Auburn with a 32-14 lead over Army. We'll be back.
If you missed the U-Game Classic, here's your chance to see it. UConn and UMass battle it out on the hardwood in this down-to-the-wire thriller. And UMass has done it! It's an instant classic, 7 p.m. Eastern Thursday, only on ESPN Classic.
Bobby Riggs and Billie Jean King. Before the Battle of the Sexes, they met with 60 Minutes.
You know, some people just want to win, but I like to win my way.
You can last and beat those girls forever.
60 Minutes on Classic, 8 p.m. Tuesday on ESPN Classic.
Red Sox fans, celebrate Boston's amazing World Series victory with
'Tis the season to be lit up. Magical nights at Brookfield Zoo. Lots more color. Extended hours. Magical sights at Brookfield Zoo. Brilliant displays, carvings from ice, animal exhibits that are warm and nice. La 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 la. All the magic breaks at Brookfield Zoo. La 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 la.
Finding the lowest mortgage rate won't take any work at all. Not when you have honest people at Guaranteed Rate find the lowest rate for you. They'll beat any lender's rate or pay you $250. For the lowest mortgage rate guaranteed, call us at 866-934-RATE. Guaranteed Rate. Lowest rate guaranteed.
The kick, Robert Baker at the 5. Baker to the 23, maybe the 24. I'd say Robert Baker doesn't back off.
No, and he didn't back off from that smoke either. That wasn't fog he was running into, but just the after effects of the cannon or the howitzer that went off a little while ago. Dameyune Craig has had the game of his life tonight.
Talking to Bowden, his head coach, and his backup Cooley. When Dameyune Craig was injured, Cooley was quickly off the bench and warming up, but Auburn didn't have to go to him. And it's been Dameyune Craig all the way. 1st and 10 from the 23. Tigers have been effective on that quick out. What a big day for Willie Gaucher. There's John Cooley, who backs up Craig. Only thrown 38 passes on the season, a senior out of Sarasota.
Well, he may get a chance to throw a couple of passes if this score continues the way it is. I'm sure Terry Bowden would give him a chance to get in the ball game after Dameyune Craig has done pretty much what he wanted to do with the Army Black Knights. Oh, did you see Stephen King, number 60, in the middle of the screen?
Kevin McLeod sure saw him. McLeod, number 43, the fullback.
Yeah, well, you know, Stephen King can hit you. And he's going to show up and just make a big play. Sometimes linebackers miss these shots when they get them, but he didn't miss that one.
That was the 26th first down for Auburn. That ties an Independence Bowl record. Pitch play, some running room. Rusty Williams. Stephen King again chased him down. Good pursuit for big number 60.
Well, that's 2 great plays in a row. In the last play, he came up, made a big tackle. And this time he shows you how he can move. He's right here. Watch him go up that way. He's just going to beat the blocker and make the play. And linebackers have to take on people, but sometimes they also have to run past people. Stephen King did it that time to make that tackle on number 3, Rusty Williams.
Stephen King broke his wrist against Navy. He's worn a cast in practice and since. Fumble on the snap. Army says it's theirs, but no official call. Not one official steps in and says Auburn football.
You know, one of the things that has troubled Auburn, there you see the cast on King. His right wrist is when he broke a little bone in there. It's not the entire wrist, just a bone in there that he's broken. And you're going to see the fumble right here as there was a poor exchange between Craig and James Keeger. Looks like Keeger was trying to draw somebody offside and snapped it before Craig was ready. And they lost the ball. Estes was trying to get in there and get it. You know, one of the interesting things is that you look back at Auburn's losses to Georgia and Alabama, they had trouble running the ball in the 4th quarter to finish off the ball game.
Now the official has stepped in. The delay is because they want the band to quit playing.
Well, who wants the band to quit playing? The officials?
Yeah, I don't understand. The Army band there.
Oh no, you got to let them play.
And the crowd. Yeah. Well, the Army fans here say we don't like that, so they come up.
Nobody does.
Dameyune Craig, the step, the drop, the throw. Incomplete. What a stretch by Robert Baker. Tom Mullins over there on the far side providing coverage.
But, you know, how can you tell the band not to play?
That's like telling those big offensive linemen you can't eat.
Yeah, I mean, you know, those guys are dressed up, you know, it's New Year's Eve. They got all that noise over there. They've been shooting cannons. The band's got to play.
Now, if you can shoot that cannon, you can play your horn. That brings up 4th down and 9. Brad Miller watches the ball bounce. And Auburn will down it at the 17-yard line. That stops the clock with 10:25 to go here at the Independence Bowl. Auburn on top, 32-14.
Put your butt in the cheap seats. Thursdays at 10 on ESPN Classic. Sunday on ESPN Classic.
You like to gamble, Eddie?
Sometimes you have to hit rock bottom.
He's a loser. Everybody wants a piece of me.
Before you catch your big break.
How can I lose?
Jackie Gleason.
I hear you've been looking for me. Yeah.
George C. Scott.
If I want them to, they're going to break your right arm.
And Academy Award winner Paul Newman.
I'm the best there is.
Star in The Hustler.
How much am I going to win tonight?
Real classics. 8 Eastern Sunday. Only on ESPN Classic.
How does the bottle work again?
Well, I fill it with authentic Guinness draft.
Yes.
So we can walk outside.
Yes.
Go down to the glen.
Yes.
And drink it.
Drink beer at a picnic. Brilliant. What will you think of next?
You know the way you call your mum?
Yes.
Well, I've created a device that lets you talk to her.
Brilliant.
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 Guinness draft straight from the bottle. Enjoy it everywhere.
Brilliant.
One ordinary con.
I did not murder him.
I'm sorry, I'm allergic to bull.
One extraordinary adventure.
Somehow, I told you so doesn't quite say it.
iRobot. Today.
Gotcha.
There he is, Dameyune Craig, with leading Auburn to a 32-14 lead over Army. Look at the numbers.
Yeah, he's had a huge day. That ain't bad.
No, 370 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and he's ran for another 77. Army down 32-14 with 10:25 to play. And they continue to pound it out on the ground. Demetrius Perry, a couple of yards to the 18. You know, Rod, Demetrius Perry's done a nice job filling in. And of course, you've mentioned they have really missed Hewitt at the fullback spot, but Perry has stuck his nose in there quite a bit. 72 yards on 16 carries. They go back the other way, and it was red. Oh, is it red? Right now, defensively, Auburn having their way. Marcellus Mostilla.
Yeah, but Jimmy Brumbaugh was the one who really had his way. We told you about the matchup that he was having with 55 Kyle Scott. Well, he won at that time. And Brumbaugh dominated on that play and disrupted it all by himself.
3rd down, 17. Makeda drops the throw, dumps it underneath to his tight end, Leshinsky. And the football, it's been tough to get the football into the tight end hand today.
Yeah, well, right now, Brumbaugh is having a pretty good time because Scott is out. He's taking on the backup now, Rod Roddenmeyer, and he goes past him, but Roddenmeyer kind of trips him up there, and he also slips on the grass. Brumbaugh is just dominating right now.
That brings up 4th down and 12, so Scott Lord back in for his 5th punt. Robert Baker at the 50. Baker's got a wall, flags are down, and Baker is stopped at the 27-yard line, but flags are back at midfield.
Well, yeah, it's going to be a illegal block, a block in the back, and it was so blatant. It was almost as blatant as the one we saw in the first quarter.
34-yard punt, a 23-yard return, but it will come back.
Yeah, there he is, Marlon Taylor. They caught him. They're telling him, if you don't see the numbers in front, you cannot block.
Illegal block in the back, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, 1st down.
Hey, coaches are telling them, you know, at this point in the season, you ought to know. Watch to the right of your screen. There he is, 26, Taylor. Look at, goes right up to the guy, pushes him from behind. He has never been coached to do that. Now, sometimes you just get a little bit excited. You want to make a play, and you don't wait.
Get out of my way.
Yeah, you block me in the back all the time.
That's right. 1st and 10 from the 43. 8:31 to go. Play action. Craig on the run, fires into traffic and incomplete. He wanted Hicks Poor, number 89.
Pretty good throw. I mean, aren't you impressed with how Craig is able to roll to his left and throw the ball that strongly? And he's shown you that he has a lot of tools. And this Auburn team is going to be a pretty good one next season. We've talked about their youth, Craig, and they have a quarterback now coming back next year who's gotten a lot under his belt.
Well, you know, you say the heat may be on Bowden, but with the youth, as you mentioned, the returns in 1997 and the leadership Craig will provide as a senior quarterback, watch out for Auburn. Markeith Cooper.
Hand off to Markeith Cooper. How you doing?
Third down and 6. Clock running, 7:40 to go, 4th quarter. Dameyune Craig pulls up, wants the home run ball, floats it, and it's picked off. Tommy Mullins down the sideline. Mullins at the 50, at the 40. If Mullins can hang on, he's got to beat Dameyune Craig.
Oh, and Dameyune Craig came across with the right forearm and with a little club at the end of it. But no penalty called.
First interception for the senior out of Houston, Texas. Tom Mullins played a nice football game for Army today. 67-yard return.
Well, this man isn't open right now, but Craig throws it anyway, and the ball hangs on him. He just doesn't get it out there. Nice pickoff by Mullins. Now watch the end of the play. Watch what Dameyune Craig does when he comes over to make the tackle. Watch the right arm. See if he tries to club him upside the head. Watch now. There it is. But oh, it's at shoulder level. It's all right. Not as bad as it looked in real time.
Army at the 17-yard line. Perry knocked down by Neal. He's in double digit for tackles with 10. Ricky Neal. And that's right at his season average. You know, you look at linebackers and you see Spikes with 119 tackles and Ricky Neal at 111. I mean, your two middle linebackers, right? That's 230 stops between the two of those guys.
Yeah, hard-nosed guys. They can handle it, though.
3-yard gain, 2nd down, 7. Straight ahead football. And gang tackling by Auburn. Demetrius Perry again. Spikes and Neal.
You know, we talked about offensively what Auburn has coming back next year, but their defense, again, will lose one player. Only one, number 47, Marcellus Mostella. Everybody else out there will be back for Auburn. Keep in mind, Craig, they lost 3 games that were very close. This team could have been 10-1.
3rd down and 3. Good point. Back the other way. Misdirection. Handoff. Bobby Williams inside the 5. And Army knocking on the door. Ricky Neal again with the tackle. His 12th stop of the day.
Well, again, you know, we talked about speed. Misdirection. Bring it back this way. You get everybody going that way. And then they can't react quickly enough to make the play. You see the Auburn guys running to the left, and then you run the ball back to the right where they aren't. Good play.
Nice block by Lashinsky to tight end. Same play, touchdown. Bobby Williams. Two touchdowns for Williams on the afternoon, his 10th of the season. And it's 32-20. 5:20 to go.
And it gets interesting.
5:50, pardon me, 5:50, a lot of time.
Interesting. Now, if you're Army, obviously you have to think about the onside kick. Get the point here and think about the onside kick, Craig.
Joseph Parker. And his streak continues. 32-21. And a lot of time. Will an onside come our way? Come on back, we'll find out.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. So
This holiday season,
yourself
put out the good stuff.
Christmas.
Planters.
Tell everyone to hang on! Take the best superhero movie ever for the ultimate spin on 2-disc special edition DVD.
I want Spider-Man!
Spider-Man 2, now on DVD.
This holiday season, bring home the rich, creamy flavor of Guinness Draught in the bottle. And when you purchase a 12-pack of Guinness Draught, get an interactive sports CD-ROM. Guinness Brilliant Moments in Sports from ESPN Classic. Then, don't miss Classic Notre Dame Wednesday, presented by Guinness, at 9 Eastern on ESPN Classic. It's the best of the Irish. Classic Notre Dame football, ESPN Classic, and Guinness Draught in the bottle. Brilliant. Drinking responsibly is brilliant.
Wow, someone ordered all that.
I guess so.
Is it heavy? This is one of the new notebooks, integrated wireless, and it's so light, it's crazy.
So light, it's crazy.
This season, take delivery of a thin and light Gateway notebook with an Intel Celeron M processor, just $699.99 and found only in a Gateway box.
.552 to play. In the Independence Bowl, there's Williams, and they've cut this lead down to 11. 84 yards on 11 carries, 7.6 yards a pop, and a couple of touchdowns.
Yeah, and you know, they have a shot now. I mean, what they have to do is get the ball back, try the onside kick. Auburn is playing for it. If they get the ball back, they have a real shot here, Craig.
Joseph Parker has it teed up, and the Auburn Tigers are ready for the onside. They have 9 men between the 45 and 50-yard line, 52-yard line. And it's going to be covered up. Covered up at the 45. Hicks Poor got it. Let's go downstairs and Merrill Hodge.
Well, thanks, Craig. I'm with 3 NASA astronauts. Bill MacArthur right here. Colonel, you've been on 2 missions already. Can you kind of first introduce your 2 astronaut friends here and kind of talk about your 2 missions?
Sure. We got Jeff Williams here on my left, and then over here, Pat Forrester. We're here at the game because we're all 3 West Point graduates. We're all in the Army, and gosh, it's only 5 hours from Houston up here, so nothing could have kept us away from the game.
Now the game is starting to become tight, so from the astronauts' perspective, what do you think they need to do now?
Well, just like everything else, they need to really concentrate on the mission and make sure they don't make mistakes.
Now, I know you guys have not been on the mission, you have not been in space, but you're training. What is that training like?
Well, training just keeping us busy in shuttle systems and operations and learning how NASA operates.
When do you expect to go into space?
I would say it would be in the next 3 to 4 years, getting ready to help finish building the space station.
Now, I know this, you guys have one of the rarest professions in the world. Maybe president, like you pointed out earlier, is the only other. But what it's like, what was the number that you were when you went into space?
Well, I was the 302nd human being to leave the Earth's atmosphere and go into space. There have been about 350 or so people in both the Russian and U.S. space programs and our partners who have been into space.
Okay, Craig, so that means you were probably 345. Back to you guys.
All right, it took some time, but he stung me, yeah.
You have been out of this world.
For the space shuttle program and all those things from NASA.
Well, I think that's right. You know, one of the things that has happened with the success that all the academies has had this season is that everyone has kind of looked at the country and said, well, you know, geez, it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Not bad, huh?
Under 5 minutes to play here in Shreveport, Louisiana. Fred Beasley, a victim of some slick turf. You know, as the temperatures begin to drop, Rod, turf gets a little slicker.
Yeah, that's true. And right now, you got to use your timeouts. If you're Army, you still have a shot. You got to stop and get the ball back. But look at the turf that you were talking about. It was already a little bit wet, a little soggy, and now, as it gets darker, a little colder, it's messier.
Timeout, 4:34 to go here in Shreveport. 32-21 Auburn.
For the past 2 years, my mom has been the team mom. She likes to knit a lot. She watches very closely what we eat.
Boys, what is this?
And of course, she makes sure we eat our Campbell's chunky soup, like new savory beef pot roast.
How about those big chunks of beef and veggies?
Our team's a family, and she's the mom.
Campbell's Chunky. It fills you up right.
Good morning. At Geico, we're all about happy customers. In fact, 97% rate our claim service fast and fair. But to get the other 3%, we're going across America, door to door. Now, of course, I don't want to get too technical, but if you look at the latest customer satisfaction ratings, those people sure were nice. My hands are still pruny.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Fourth quarter, Independence Bowl, 4:34 to play. 11-point lead for Auburn.
Black Knights.
The Cadets, the Black Knights of Army. Second down, 11 from the eye. And a whistle will stop play.
I'm sure they're going to hit Auburn again. Legal procedure.
Prior to snap, false start, on the offense, 5-yard penalty.
Second down and 16 for Auburn.
Well, Army really has to think in terms of trying to get the ball out. 4:29 to go here. You know, they really aren't a team with a 2-minute offense, so they need a turnover right now and a quick score if they're going to have a chance here, Fred.
I had some clock problems up on the big scoreboard. They have it fixed. 4:34 officially remaining here in the Independence Bowl. Rusty Williams on the pitch to the 37-yard line.
And I like that call by Terry Bowden. You know, go ahead and run the ball, keep running time off the clock, because he knows that the Army offense really can't score twice if he turns the ball back over to them with like 3.5 minutes to go.
Another timeout, and we'll step aside. 4:25 to go. We'll be back.
So what's this about our Guinness again?
I've discovered that Guinness Draft has only 125 calories.
Only 125 calories? Brilliant! What else have you been up to?
I've invented this little book. It's black. You put women's phone numbers in it.
A little black book? Brilliant!
Come here often. You can also use it as a coaster.
A coaster? Brilliant!
Brilliant!
Guinness Draft has only 125 calories. Enjoy it responsibly.
Brilliant!
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. So
This holiday season,
have yourself
put out the good stuff.
Christmas.
Planters.
In the 70s, he was the coolest guy alive. Now, he's back.
You guys yanking my chain?
I didn't even know you had a chain.
In the biggest comedy event
thank you.
of the holiday season.
What's that on your head?
It's my hat.
Why don't you take it off?
I have no face.
Fat Albert.
I'm looking for Mr. Cosby.
Rated PG this Christmas only in...
A very calm Auburn bench leading 32-21 with 4:25 to go. Army spending their last timeout. Auburn with still one remaining if they need it. From the 37-yard line. Dameyune Craig, the quarterback, has gone the distance for Auburn today from the eye. Rusty Williams to the 30-yard line, and that will bring up a 4th down.
And again, even when they don't need a 1st down, they just need to run the clock. They get good blocking up front again. You know, Victor Riley, 68, once again doing what Terry Bowden wants him to do, clear out some room there just to keep the clock running. And Riley has had a tremendous day blocking. I mean, you saw them run behind him on that play that time, Craig.
And Geno James, the redshirt freshman, right next to him, their number 78, a 297-pounder out of Montgomery, Alabama.
And Victor Riley was a first-team All-SEC performer this season. I tell you, this Auburn team is going to be pretty good. You don't know what's going to happen in the SEC. You got Tennessee probably losing Peyton Manning if all reports are right. Who knows what he's going to do? He goes to the NFL. If he leaves, Tennessee is a different team. And Florida, who knows? Danny Werfel is gone, but they have a lot of talent down there every year.
It will be interesting.
I know Terry Bowden believes that his team will be much better next season than it was this year. He told us yesterday this was a disappointing season for him. He expected his team, even though it was young, to be better than 7-4. Well, we've seen tonight what kind of performance they can put on.
Interesting to see how the polls will finally come out. AP and CNN USA Today, the coaches poll. 4th down, 7, play action. Dameyune Craig over the middle, incomplete. Through behind Willie Gosset, who has been very effective today as a wide receiver. So that stops the clock with 3:37 to go.
Well, Dameyune Craig has had plenty of time all day, and that's really what's been the difference for him. You see him there again, plenty of pocket protection, and he has a lane right down the middle to throw the football, a little bit behind the receiver that time. But that's been the story of the ball game. Dameyune Craig has had all day.
Army with the football, Rod, but no timeouts remaining. 3:37 to go. Down 11. Complete. Brezek.
Pass complete to Jeff Brezek. Ball down.
Clock runs, Rod, with 3:20 and counting.
Yeah, this is real tough for Army right now. I mean, they don't have the kind of offense that Auburn has.
Little delay draw up the middle. Bobby Williams. Maybe a yard to the 37. Tackled by Brumbaugh. Boy, Brumbaugh with 9 stops from that nose guard position. Make sure you stick around. Coming up next, Sports Center. We'll talk about Cowboy Blues. An update there. Bowl highlights. Kentucky, Louisville. We're talking college basketball. Bob Lee and Charlie Steiner standing by with Sports Center. Ron Thomas stays inbounds, and that's not good news for Army because the clock now coming up on the 2.5-minute mark.
Yeah, and they're short of a 1st down. It's 4th down for them, too. I mean, if they don't pick this up, it's really lights out for Army. And clock will stop if they pick up the first down by running it.
4th and 1. A counter misdirection play, very effective for Army on the day. Brizik, the ball carrier, and a first down for Army. As you mentioned, stops the clock as they reset the chains with 2:12 to go.
Yeah, clock's going to start once again as soon as the official signals it. Army again, no timeouts left. They need 2 scores.
Makeda slingshots it in the middle, big gainer. And Makeda hooks up with Rod Richardson.
Well, that's because a defensive back fell down because he slipped. Had he not slipped, he could have made the play.
29 yards.
It was Ware who fell down back there, and that's why they were able to complete the pass.
2 minutes to play. 1st and 10 from the Auburn 29-yard line. Makeda, down he goes.
I don't know about that one. I mean, you just complete a long pass to give yourself a first down. Your quarterback's feeling pretty good. I don't think you run the option there. I think you come back and you keep throwing it. You're running out of time now. You need 2 scores.
Mark Smith broke through to make the tackle. Makeda splits the seam. Touchdown, Army. Rod Richardson. Hold on.
There is no quit in the Cadets. A 30-yard touchdown pass to Rod Richardson, the backup man.
Second touchdown of the season for the sophomore out of Portsmouth, Virginia. And the Cadets will line up and go for 2. A minute 27 to play. Misdirection, hello. Bobby Williams. And this, all of a sudden, Rod, is a 3-point football game.
Yeah, all you need is a field goal, and you're going to try the onside kick. And all of a sudden, it turned around. There's a shot. And go back and look at the touchdown, Craig, and you'll see Richardson really makes a nice play. He's out here. He's going to run an inside route here. Watch the safety as he comes over. He gets tricked out of the middle. And a nice throw by Makeda makes it such that he's able to go ahead and get into the end zone. Safety's gone. Now Richardson over the middle, catches the ball nicely, runs on in for the score.
30-yard sprint. And now another attempt at the onside.
Well, here's the 2-point play. Once again, the misdirection. Get the speedy guys going one way, run it back the other way on them. Again, Williams is the man who picked it up. And Army down by 3 points with a minute 27 to go here.
The Cadets moved 70 yards, 6 plays, and they did it in a hurry, and they did it with no timeouts.
Yeah.
2:10 off the clock, so they got it with 3:37 to play. And they go 70 yards in 6 plays.
Yeah, 2 key mistakes in the secondary for Auburn. Guy falling down and a guy moving out of position.
Josh Parker has it teed up.
They got it. They had a shot at it.
Who's got it?
They had a shot at it. They had a shot at it, Craig.
Both teams.
Yeah.
Army.
Yeah,
Army with the football.
Well, it looked like they had a shot at it. That ball was taking forever to go the 10 yards. And when it finally went 10 yards, there were a number of players around. But number 22, Matt Rogers, was at the bottom of the pile. He came up with it. Watch the left side of your screen. Watch once the ball crosses the 10-yard marker. All of the Army players are around there. It bounces off an Auburn player, and Rogers gets in there to pick it up. It was Hicks Poor who tried to pick up the ball, and it bounced off of him.
A minute 22. Army down 3. No timeouts. Makeda pumps to the near side. The give and go. Going deep over the middle. Nearly intercepted Brad Ware back on coverage, but Makeda wanted Rod Richardson, and that stops the clock with 1:15 to play.
Oh, yeah, you know, and Makeda had him out there. He had his man out there. He held the ball a little bit too long, and he threw it towards the safety to the middle. Had he brought it outside, they might have picked something up there.
Well, one stat that Bowden will not really like is the 22 points given up defensively, and yet the offense has sputtered. They have not scored in this quarter.
Yeah, the Army has been huge in the fourth quarter here tonight.
Play action to go to the near side. Well, Bobby Williams breaks the tackle inside the 45 to the 42-yard line. That will stop the clock. They'll reset the chains with 1:08 to go.
You know, they don't need a touchdown here. They can send this thing into overtime with a field goal. And they probably need to go about another 15, 17 yards to have a real good shot at it.
Well, if you look at Joseph Parker, his longest kick of the season, 45. Oh, my, what a catch. Bobby Williams at the 13-yard line.
And how did he hang on to that one? And how did that man get that ball in there? Brad Ware with a big hit.
28-yard pickup. Could this be a miracle comeback for the Cadets of Army? 55 seconds left to play, and they have done this with no timeouts.
And they really have done it. It was a very similar play to what they did in the first half. And it was Williams again who made the catch in the first half. He made a big one just now.
First and 10 from the 14. And we have a player down.
Let's go back to the big catch. Here's Williams right here. He's going to come on out here and then just go up. And watch the safety come over a little bit late. And then the great pass by Ronnie Makeda to get it in there in between the two defenders. You see the ball, he's got to drop it right in there. And he does a perfect job against the two deep coverage. Great catch. Williams hanging on when Brad Ware came over with the big hit.
Player down happened to be Bobby Williams. He did take a shot, and the question you bring up, how do you hang on after a hit like that?
You talk about doing it for the team there. I mean, he knew he was going to take a pop, and he just took it.
Sports Center is coming up. Bob Lee, Charlie Steiner. Williams now with 3 receptions, 75 yards, 55 seconds.
I go back to the option. I run the option here.
Makeda straight up the middle to the 10-yard line. Now, if they have to, of course, they're thinking field position for the field goal.
Right, and they can always spike the ball, too. They have a second down now. The clock should be stopped because the guys are milling around. Yeah, they're going to stop the clock now. They lost about 3 or 4 seconds there when they probably should have stopped the clock. Okay, so you've gone ahead and you spiked the ball. Now you've got a third down here, Craig. You go ahead and take a shot at the end zone if you're happy with where you are on the field. If their place kicker likes where the ball is, I think you go ahead and take a shot to the end zone. If he doesn't like where it is, I think you go ahead and you run the ball again to make sure you wind up with a dead-on shot that he likes. I mean, you've come this far back. You got to like your chances in overtime. And remember, Craig, this is the field goal post that's crooked.
And it's leaning. This will be a 27-yard field goal attempt. Good snap. The kick is up and no good.
A 27-yarder. He missed it.
And no one feels like Joseph Parker. You know, the scenario was perfect. 18 of 21. Only missed 3 field goals the entire season. And he can't find it from 27 yards.
Well, they were a little bit rushed there. They went for it on third down instead of a fourth down. I thought we talked about maybe the shot, taking a shot in the end zone, and if you didn't get it, then come out and kicking. They had no more timeouts left, so they couldn't run the ball back to the middle. of the field. So they went ahead and did it. But look at this man here, Bob Sutton, talking to his young kicker, telling him it ain't his fault that they don't win the ball game.
Hey, class act right there.
All the way.
A class act. And that tells you, I can't believe I just missed that kick. And joy for Auburn. And disappointment on the other side.
Nevertheless, a stirring comeback by Army. They were in position to tie the ball game up and send it into overtime. It just didn't happen.
Hey, I want to thank everybody on the ESPN crew. Brian Carter, our producer. John McDonough, our director. Our spotter, Kim Anderson. Stats all season long, Tom Barbary. Rod, it's been a pleasure. Merrill Hodge. The final from the Independence Bowl. Auburn in a thriller over Army, 32-29. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.